Welcome to the B. Andrews Radio Show here on this December 5th day in central Wisconsin. What a beautiful day it is outside, although I must admit that, the weather's just playing tricks on us. Last week, we were all 40, 50 degree, 4 or 5 days of just beautiful.
What's this last week stuff? Yesterday, it was
like
55.
Yesterday was the coup d'etat, or as some people say, it was the coup tada. I mean, tada! It was.
I have never heard anybody but you say that.
Well, then I'm an original. Anyway, that has connotations. Anyway, yesterday was quite the coup tada because it was almost, it was in the 50s. It was sunshine. It was beautiful. It was warm. It was December the 4th at 50-some degrees. But incredibly enough, we did not break any records. So there you go. But we had a beautiful day here in central Wisconsin yesterday, and today we're having a beautiful day. It's just a little crisper in the beautiful day that we're having. We have gone from 55, 56 degrees to a high today of 24, and we've already experienced that. So it's just going to get colder as we move on through the day. I do believe winter is here. So I love how it just shows up one day.
And it will be for the next 6 months.
It just goes, hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
Did y'all miss me?
No.
Anyway, on this side of the room, I am one of your co-hosts. I am Eric of the B. Andrews Band. On the other side of the room is your other co-host, and it's John of the B. Andrews Band. Say hi to
Hostess Maximus.
That's right. On the other, I forgot. Here we go. Get the sound thing ready.
Okay,
Here we go. You ready? On the other side of the room is Hostess Maximus, John.
That was impressive.
Thank you. And thank you for making me impressive.
Wow.
That's what happens when you have a great sound engineer on the other side of the room. And one of the things that we've been doing and experiencing it with, I've got the thing right here in my hand, is our 2-minute drill. Something kind of new that we're doing here on the B. Andrews Radio Show. So if you happen to have Facebook and you know that the B. Andrews Show, we normally try to record it 1 to 2 hours before we post it. So that would be anywhere from 11 to 12 o'clock Central Time on Tuesday. That's when we go into our pre-recording production. And during the middle of that, we're doing what we call the 2-minute drill. And what the 2-minute drill is, I just got this new smartphone. I just got this selfie stick, which John cracks up laughing when I have it in my hand. Hey, it's telescoping, dude. I can reach over on that side of the room and get you with this. But when I do, my phone will not be on the end of it, okay?
And I can throw something too.
Yeah, that's
something that's not called a selfie stick.
I throw a rock.
In fact, I could just go get a stick and smack you with it.
And you wouldn't be out any money either. So
Nope.
They're very plentiful outside.
Yep.
Anyway, so but the 2-minute drill, in between our segments, we have 3 segments, and so that means there's a gap between 2 of them. We normally take a 2-minute break where we get a refill on coffee, and we really do drink coffee here in the studio.
2, 3.
All right.
I don't know if that was enough or not, but I burnt my tongue.
Because if it wasn't coffee, could we do that? And John, what are we drinking today? This is pretty good.
This is just a medium roast, but I brewed it in my espresso maker, so this is actually an Americano.
Ah,
boom!
So that's the reason why it's got a little kick.
Yeah, I'm a barista beast.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So anyway, so that's what we're drinking today. Cups up, everybody.
Yep.
Cups up, and we hope that you got something nice going on. So we got this beautiful crisp day out on December the 5th, reminding me that Christmas is a-comin'. Everybody, Christmas is a-comin'.
Coming?
Coming. I need you to know that. We got lots of things that are happening here in our immediate area, things that are grabbing our immediate attention. This particular Saturday, besides the 3 basketball games that I'm officiating this week.
Oh.
Yes, I am a basketball official, and I have 3 games this week.
Go Zebras!
Yeah, there you go. And like I tell most people, we have not lost a game yet.
Oh, that's nice.
We have some of the best records in basketball. Zebras do. I've never seen. Once you make zebra status, you cannot lose a game. If you do, your stripes are taken away from you. And so I do know a few that probably need their stripes taken away from them. But moving right along, we don't want to get into that category. There are plenty of things happening this week here in our particular area. B. Andrews and another group helped me with their name. They sang for us at our church last year.
True Harmony.
True Harmony. 2 traveling groups are actually coming together, and we're really not representing our groups at all. What has happened is we've been asked to be a part of a community choir. So we're throwing our help in with them. True Harmony is too. They're really good.
Yeah, they are.
They're really good.
I got to sing with their. They got me down singing the tenor part, which almost gets too low for me. And I got the bass behind me, and he was like busting out the notes to help me out. And it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
He sounded really good.
So True Harmony is involved with this. So you got 2 traveling groups, and they do a lot of a cappella work. Our music and our style and stuff doesn't lend to do too much a cappella work. Rarely. So that's primarily what they do. And so when it comes to vocal blend and stuff like that, they're really, really good. They sound really, really good. And we stand really close to them when we're doing this choir work so that they can help us out. But it's a privilege to do that. That's going to be at the Alman United Methodist Church coming up this Saturday at 6:30 comes to mind. I think that's what was announced on Sunday during our church service. So, hey, if you're in the area, you're in for some good Christmas music, just a public Christmas concert kind of thing, come on out and see that. Be a part of that. Be part of the community. And it should be a lot of fun. Another thing that is going to be happening is a week from Saturday. It's called Christmas at Uncle Phil's Diner. The Hancock Wesleyan Youth are putting that on. So if you're anywhere near the Hancock area, you'll want to check that out. It's going to be a Christmas play, but it's an interactive Christmas play. We're acting as if there's a diner. Everybody comes in and is seated, and we will feed you. That's the thing. We're going to eat. Meatloaf and hamburgers is on the menu with a baked potato bar, and it's going to be a huge baked potato bar. I know that there's going to be cheese and sour cream and butter. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I think there might even be some, for people who really love to load a baked potato, I think there might even be some chili. So if they like putting chili on their thing, yeah, I think there's going to be bacon.
Bacon!
Bacon makes anything
Bacon!
awesome. It's true. You can put
Bacon.
Have you seen candy that wraps up the chocolate in bacon? Yeah, see what I mean? Bacon makes everything better.
John doesn't know it's not bacon. Bacon.
Wow. It's a good thing. So anyway, that's going to be going on. And it's called Christmas at Uncle Phil's Diner. It's going to be at the Hancock Community Center because we need the big kitchen, the bigger space. We're going to be doing all that kind of stuff. There's some interesting characters. Talk about them here just a minute. You got the main character, the man with the plan, the genius with the spatula, Uncle Phil himself.
Wow, you laid it on kind of thick there.
Well, those are words right out of the
Yeah, and we called that person crazy.
That's true. So this guy over here thinks that Uncle Phil's a genius with a spatula. And what does PJ say?
Okay, no more Cokes for that table.
That's
We're cutting
right.
you off, okay? Just water for them, Mom.
That's right. We've got Flodine, the hostess with the mostest, the fastest pad in the West.
Pencil.
Yep. She can get an order down in the back and on the table in a flash. So anyway, Flodine is another character that you're going to get to see. There's Uncle Phil's nephew, PJ. He's kind of taken over the diner and has started booking it out as a banquet hall, which is the whole premise. It's the problem with what's going on. He's overbooked.
That's not the problem, it's the solution.
He's overbooked the diner, and there's no room at the diner this Christmas for what Uncle Phil usually likes to do at the diner. Okay.
Then you shouldn't have put me in charge.
Yeah, that was the problem. Let's see if we can get this line where he starts off, "Don't worry, Uncle Phil.
Don't worry, Uncle Phil. I've got it
Everything
all
under control." Right, kid. If I had a nickel for every time you said that, I'd be rich. Okay,
If you can't tell, I'm going to be PJ.
and I'm Uncle Phil. So anyway,
This is new for us. I mean, we usually go for the whole father-son relationship.
yeah, we do that a
I
lot.
think this will be more interesting, the whole nephew-uncle
relationship,
This will be
yeah,
interesting.
because that way I can go smack your dad.
It'll be a new leaf.
Oh, wait a minute. That would be me.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah,
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you,
that's not so funny
I was
after all.
like trying to think
Anyway.
that got weird.
Yeah, really, real quick too. So that's the premise of Uncle Phil, and Flo is trying to help PJ out because people keep calling up and want to come in for food at the diner. But the menu that we will be having will be meatloaf, and we'll be having hamburgers, your choice of a hamburger or a cheeseburger. There'll be some fixings, so once they come out, if you want to doctor it up the way that you want to doctor it up, that's absolutely fine. There'll be the baked potato bar, so everybody will get a shot at the baked potato bar to go and get yourself a baked potato, and you fix that puppy up the way that you like to put it up. And then there's going to be, we've got special drink for the evening. We have holiday punch. Looking forward to that. And then coffee. I'm not sure if we're going to have tea this time. Tea doesn't go over too well. But I do know we're going to have coffee because we're serving pie. Oh my, we got a couple of different kinds of pies. They'll be on the menu. So if you go to a diner and you like to just order a piece of pie, that will be possible. So what we're asking is a simple donation of $10 a person. So if you could, and I put that as a donation because it will go to benefit the Hancock Wesleyan youth. And so this is a major fundraiser that B. Andrews, we're doing for them. So if you can help us out, that would absolutely be fantastic. So we started talking last week about making Christmas. It's going to be a little difficult. You know, one of the things that helps make Christmas is snow. And we don't have any snow on the ground yet up here. Don't know if you have any snow on the ground where you are. I heard that they literally had blizzard conditions out in the Dakotas. And I know we've got a couple of friends out there that listen to our broadcast. So Pastor Keith, if you're listening this week, thinking about you, praying for you, and stay safe out there on the high plains.
And warm.
Yeah, and warm. Also, another friend of ours that drives truck, and he's been driving out that way, is Forrest. So shout out to him, our truck driving friend, and keep yourself safe while you're on the road, and get back here to Wisconsin where, well, that's right, all the weather that we get comes out of the Dakotas. So get here before the weather gets here, okay?
On that note, I wonder where Skip's at.
I saw a thing of him. I thought... Now, I can't remember, but I want to say Missouri. He was down in Missouri.
Keeping warm down there. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I talked to him.
Because he went on Facebook Live, so it was good to see Skip on Facebook Live. So he's nice and safe.
And
Another
warm.
one of our truck driver friends that goes out through the high plains is Robin, Miss Robin, and so shout out to her. But anyway, we want to let you know that we're going to talk a little bit about making Christmas and keeping it Christmas, and one of the ways of doing that is with Advent. And different churches and so forth celebrate Advent. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about what all that means. So get yourself a refill and come on back to the B. Andrews Radio Show.
Frosty wind made mold. Earth stood hard as iron. Water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago. Our God heaven can't hold him, nor earth sustain. Heaven and earth shall flee away when he comes to reign. In the bleak midwinter, a stable place suffice. The Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Angels and archangels, they have God.
And we're back on the B. Andrews Radio Show. I would say that was a pretty successful 2-minute drill.
Wow.
No comment?
No comment.
Okay. Hey,
I was just going to let it die.
yeah, that's fine. I'll tell you what, we're better than the Bengals.
Who day?
Right now, everybody's better than the Bengals.
It's been that way for like the past 30 years.
And, well, not really. Not really. But I don't want to get off. We did football once before. I don't want to get off onto that. So we'll come back to that. What we do want to talk about, though, are great traditions of Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to lay it out there, John. Family tradition. What is your favorite family tradition?
Favorite?
Favorite? Yeah, isn't it easier to talk about your favorite than or?
I don't pick favorites when it comes to things like
Oh
that.
yes,
It's
you
like,
do.
oh, I love this, and oh, I love that.
Yeah,
And,
well, what's your go for it? What's your favorite family tradition?
when we used to go walk downtown Cincinnati at Christmas time, that was one of my favorite family traditions. We don't do it anymore, so I miss it.
Well,
That was
you
awesome.
kind of gotta live near Cincinnati to do that.
No, we used to do that when we lived up here too. We would just travel down and do it,
That's true. We have done that a couple of times.
and I miss it.
But
it was nice.
you know, one of the things, and this is true, being a pastor, there's a few things I can't take vacation during. Christmas is kind of one of them.
Well, I miss it because we would go and walk around downtown Cincinnati, and there'd be Fountain Square, and you could go ice skating on Fountain Square.
Yeah.
And then there was that place that set up that giant train set.
Yeah, CG&E, Cincinnati Gas and Electric.
Okay, I was little, so I don't remember what it was called, but it was awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you? What was one of your favorite?
Well, to be honest with you, the reason why I did that with you is because my grandmother did that with me.
Aww.
And but back then they had the department stores downtown that were really, really huge. And one of the things that Grandma liked to do was to go see the window dressings for the season. Shillito's. Trying to think of some of the other major department stores that used to be downtown that had window dressings to them. Shillito's is the first one that comes to mind. But anyway, the different department stores have the big glass fronts to them where they would show off the latest fashions and styles and all that kind of stuff. Well, department stores used to take great pride in turning those windows into fashion statements. And during the Christmas time, they would put up all different kinds of beautiful Christmas scenes in them, using the latest fashions, of course. That's how they would get people to come in and buy their coats and toys and things like that. So each window becomes a scene by itself. And one of the things that Grandma used to like to do is go downtown and to see those. But when malls came along, malls kind of took all that stuff away. But as big as a storefront would be, on a store, they would divide those up into window casings, and each one would have its own scene. And that's how they used to do that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's very, very cool. I don't know if other major cities still do that or not. They have downtown department stores. Your Chicago's, New York's, Atlanta's, major cities like Boston, Philadelphia. I mean, these places. I don't know. I've never been one to go around to other major cities. Not too many of them ever caught my attention. So anyway, that was a Christmas tradition that we used to love to do. Then when I first got married, we tried to make it a tradition. Lived in Cincinnati. There was Kings Island. I think, isn't it still called Kings Island? Do you know?
Paramount Kings Island. It used to be.
Well, Paramount
since then.
Yeah, Paramount doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, they would at wintertime, they would turn all of Kings Island into a Winterfest. And the big fountain area, you could go ice skating on that. They would keep the lights underneath of it, and the lights would change color, and the lights would shine up through the ice.
That sounds cool.
And so the reds and greens, and they would put all kinds of Christmas trees out there that you would have to skate around and stuff like that. All the shops down International Street would be open and bring in special people to sell their wares. It's the first place and time I'd ever eaten a roasted chestnut.
Yeah.
Because they would have vendors that would roast them right out on International Square. It was absolutely beautiful. And then 3 or 4 of the different places that do shows out there would continue to do their Christmas shows. And so you would either do that or you would do the Festival of Lights at the Cincinnati Zoo, or both. And then last but not least, I love lights. I love lights display. Dad we would drive around Cincinnati until we found people's lights that they would put up on their houses. And we would just drive around the city.
Stock neighborhoods.
Yeah. And check out. Well, but people, hey, that's not stalking. If people decorated their houses for you to come and see, we would drive around and go see them.
Yeah.
And we would spend an evening doing that. That was pretty cool. I love doing that stuff with the family. So, then Dad would buy some eggnog and we would consume it. And to this day, I love eggnog.
Yep. I love eggnog.
Yeah, I love eggnog. Always loved the traditional Christmas service. It was even as a kid, it was incredibly meaningful to me. The choirs singing. I love choirs. Singing at Christmas time. I'm not a big choir guy any other time, but there's just something about hearing Joy to the World or O Come All Ye Faithful with this big, huge choir of voices singing it. It's brings back a lot of memories, but it also fills my heart with a lot of joy and awe, especially about this time of year, about the babe in the manger and God's love for us through all this kind of stuff. And those festivities, I think are really, really cool. And that's one of the reasons why when the one church said, hey, we need help, we want to keep doing this, I was like, besides Emily asking me, Dad, they need guys, would you come and do this? It's like, yeah, I'd like to see this keep going and all that other kind of stuff. It's also the reason why I think it's very important as a pastor. One of the things that I do is I look into doing the Advent wreath and lighting the Advent candle around this time of year. Advent is the 4 Sundays prior to Christmas. And so this year, Christmas Eve lands on a Sunday. So you light the last candle and then, Monday's Christmas Day. But it's a it's really cool. It's also one of the few things that brings all denominations together. As a Christian denomination, one thing about all Christian denominations is we believe that Jesus Christ is the Savior of the world and that he was born to us through the Virgin Mary. God gave him to us. We have all that in common. So one of the things that I do as a pastor to make sure that we're in unity with the rest of the churches around is celebrate Advent, and I light the candles, and we do a ceremony, kind of the reading of the scripture. This past week was about the prophecies and what prophecies should do for us. Prophecies should bring us hope in Jesus Christ. So, and Jesus himself brings hope into the world because God can change things.
Yeah.
And by God proving that he can change things, that means that we've got a future to look forward to. Things may look bleak now. God can change things. And so that gives us hope in our heart that things will not always be like this, that God's going to change things. And two major things in Scripture that God said he was going to change. Prior to the coming of Jesus Christ, the world was a terrible, bleak looking place, but God had given a prophecy and said, I'm going to change things. Now that Jesus Christ has come, we've been told that things are going to get really bleak looking again. But guess what's going to happen? Jesus is going to come again. And isn't it amazing that God's answer to the world turning bleak and terrible is Jesus Christ coming back? And it's the same answer both times. He comes back in two different ways. The first time he comes was as Savior of the world. And so he walked the earth and he talked and he gave us instructions on how to live. Then he laid down his life so that each and every one of us could have an eternal home. Let's see, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And then when this world turns bleak again, God has given us a promise. Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye here gazing? It tells us in the book of Acts. The same Jesus that you saw go away will come again in like manner. Well, if you remember, he just kind of steps on a cloud and goes. and the same Jesus is going to come back. But he's not going to come back as a little babe in a manger and walk the earth and do miracles. He's going to come back as a ruling king and as the prince of this earth. And all the bleakness and so forth that is going on, all that garbage that just weighs down on us, it's gone. He's going to take over and he's going to clear it all off. Man, what an awesome time that's going to be.
It will.
So that's Advent in a nutshell, and I absolutely just crossed over the lighting of two different candles because the four candles that are there is hope, joy, love, and peace. And this week is hope because it goes with the prophecy. Joy is Jesus Christ bringing salvation to the world. Peace is Jesus. Is what Jesus brings back, but that also goes with his second coming. And so when you do the peace candle, you're supposed to talk about the second coming of Jesus Christ. Well, I just did it in the hope. But
it works,
that's okay.
Though. It works.
But they're all so interrelated. You can actually do them any way you want. You really can't get them out of order because it's all one package. That's the incredible thing. There's four different things there, but you can't separate them because all of them are a part of the character of Jesus Christ. And it's absolutely inseparable. You can't get one without the other, and you can't talk about one without the other, but we do know that they are different when you say it. It's just amazing things with words. So I hope that you out there in Radio Land have the ability to get to a place where you celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Maybe your church doesn't do the lighting of the candles in Advent time. Again, I do it very specifically so that we feel it helps, that we feel all a part of the community of believers, which is much bigger than any one church. There's a great
Amen.
cloud of witnesses out there that belong to the body of believers in Jesus Christ. And if you've never put your faith in that little baby lying in that manger, I hope that you will find something in your heart, or maybe you might find that there's a lack of something in your heart that says that, you know what, I need this. I need this. I need to expand my faith. I need to find something that's greater than myself. And I will tell you the answer. And you say, you're just saying that because you're a preacher. And you're right. I am. And it's all the reason why I'm a preacher. If you need something in your heart, find it in Jesus Christ. And Christmas is an awesome time of the year to do that. Well, I'm looking forward to another coffee break right here myself, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about tradition, but I do know we got good news coming up here in just a minute. So we'll see you on the other side of this break.
Suffice, the Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Angels and archangels may have gathered there. Cherubim and seraphim that long beyond.
On his mother only, there maiden bliss. Worship the beloved with the
Welcome back to the V. Andrews Radio Show, where we're experiencing technical difficulty and censorship to the nth degree over here.
I'm giving him crap because he could not think of that word. It took him like 30 seconds to think of that word.
So I can't think of the word of censorship. And not only that, but then he thinks the word aged sounds like Asian. And you can't say that. Oh, come on, man. Seriously? I said aged, not, it wasn't ancient. I thought you said Asian. I got judged.
You did.
I got judged.
You did.
And censored.
I'm looking out for you, man.
And censored.
You got the block. You got the chopping block.
Anyway, so things that are going on behind the scene. Wow, how come we didn't have the camera running when that was going on? Because that's
couldn't
what
get it working.
The technical difficulty. The camera isn't working. All right. So anyway, we are back talking about Christmas traditions. I think we're getting a new one right here. That's for sure. And just wondering out there, come and help us out. Jump on the B. Andrews Facebook page and share some of your traditions that you have with your family. We talked about going around, seeing the lights, drinking eggnog. One that I do with our family currently, when they come in, we put up the tree. We have very special glasses and we pull them out. We go and buy the best eggnog that we can, and we put on the Christmas music. We do the tree together, talk about what the ornaments mean, where they came from.
It's lovely.
It is. It's a family evening, and the thing of it is it's really growing. We've gone from one grandchild and nephew in the family to now there's two, and you realize next Christmas there will be four.
Yep.
Four, but not all of them will be ready to participate in Christmas for that year. That's for sure. Maybe in tearing down the tree, but not in building it up.
I'm
that's
sure
for
they'll
sure.
help tear down the tree. Abby will be in charge.
Abby. You mean
That's
Boo?
that's my niece.
You mean Boo?
She will be in charge of destroying the entire place.
Her aunts, Emily and Kay, both of them have watched Monsters Inc. Over the past couple of weeks, and they have determined that Abby is Boo, and I can totally see that. Yeah, I really, really can. She's active and she's a lot of fun and she's into everything and has the same dark brown hair that Boo has and a lovely giggle and
She's altogether cute.
She's got that.
Kitty!
Yeah. So, anyway, but family traditions, get out there, make Christmas very, very meaningful. But the best that you could possibly do is not to forget to put Christ as the centerpiece of your Christmas. So, that's what we wanted to tell you about today, which takes us into needing some good news. Are you ready? All right, hit the music, Maestro. Good news.
Well, it's time for a little good news and let the sun shine through for me and you. Okay, well, our good news for today comes from Inside Edition. It's woman anonymously donates $5,000 brooch to Salvation Army to spread Christmas cheer.
Anonymously or accidentally?
Anonymously.
Anonymously, okay.
Because listen to the story. Here's the story. A Boston woman contacted the Salvation Army saying she wanted to donate an expensive piece of jewelry, but was worried it was too big to slip through the opening of the charity's trademark red kettle.
Oh.
So Drew Forster, a spokesman for the nonprofit group's Massachusetts office, met the woman in person and accepted her bejeweled brooch in the shape of a fish. She also handed over a 1998 receipt in the amount of $4,680. A friend had given it to her and he had passed on, so she wanted to donate it in his honor, Forster told InsideEdition.com Monday. The pin is made of gold and has 32 diamonds. Ooh. The woman prefers to stay anonymous, he said, and she hoped the piece of jewelry was worth much more than its purchase price after the passage of 19 years. It is the latest in what has become a local tradition of giving away jewelry steeped in financial and sentimental value to the organization that bestows holiday gifts and help to those in need. It began in 2014 when a Boston widow carefully wrapped her engagement and wedding rings in paper along with a very sweet note and dropped them in one of the Salvation Army's ubiquitous scarlet buckets, Forster said. I've dropped my wedding ring in your red kettle, knowing that the money from its sale will buy toys for needy children. In all seasons, my husband was a giver, the widow wrote. I especially remember his joy in giving at Christmas time, especially to those in need. To honor his memory, I donate this ring. I'm hoping there's someone out there who made lots of money this year and will buy the ring for 10 times its worth, she wrote. Days later, a former bell ringer came forward and offered $21,000 for the set.
Oh, my.
Also a widow, the woman wanted to return the rings to their rightful owner. Forster arranged for the women to meet. He said the public became very enamored over the story, Forster said, after media stories ran about the exchange. The pieces are sold courtesy of an estate auction firm with the proceeds given to the charity. Over the past 3 years, $70,000 was raised from Christmas jewelry donations. It's been a tradition ever since, Forster said.
Wow. And so here we are today talking about making tradition and Christmas memories. And wow, that blows me away. What a gift from the heart. What a gift. Man.
Yeah.
I don't know, Miriam and I have talked a time or two about what would ever happen if we lost one or the other, Miriam being my wife, for some of you that know or don't know. And I know in my heart of hearts, I could never marry again. I know that's my love. That's it. And I would never share. There's no other lady that would ever share the place of her in my life. And I don't want anybody else to, and I wouldn't want anybody to try to live up to that. But I don't know that I could give away something that precious that meant that much to me. That is just what a gift. That's huge. That's huge. And then somebody did 10 times the amount buy it. Sounds like donating $21,000 for the set. Wow. So, I mean, basically, if you're saying that a wedding set cost $2,100, they gave $21,000. That's incredible. So,
it's
and the other thing that tells me,
not 2,100, 21,000.
Yeah, they donated $21,000. I said it would be about $2,100 would be what a set would cost.
Oh,
so they would.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
I see
they
what
would.
you're saying.
It seems like they gave the 10 times as much. So that's wow.
I just recently purchased a wedding ring, and I don't know that I would want. And I know the one that is going to my fiance is a family heirloom, and I would not really be okay with just giving that away.
Yeah,
So
that you can't.
That's a big deal for this, you know.
Yeah, that it really is huge. So, just absolute congratulations, and not only that, but by it making the news that it did, the word got out, and other people have begun using it in order to move the hearts of people in order to take care of needy people in that area. So even though the people themselves, the individuals, and I thought this was really cool, she obviously did not do it for self-promotion, because even
She
right
would
up to the
not
very
even
end
allow
did
her
not
name to run.
That's right, did not want people to know who she was that was doing this, and that truly again is giving from the heart. That's the most powerful kind of giving, and it's obvious because other people have seen it. It has moved them, and giving has picked up from people that are inspired to do exactly the same thing. Awesome story, John. Way to go. And one very, very appropriate here for this time of the year at Christmas. So, as we wrap up today's show, again, go out and make a difference in the world, even if it's by doing something anonymously. See what these folks have done anonymously, and yet the Salvation Army has benefited from it greatly. Make a difference in somebody's life. Just make a difference wherever you possibly can. And remember, take this particular Christmas season, start now, in order to maybe form some more family traditions or do something new that you've never done before. And bring your family into it, and make Christmas very, very special. Don't let Christmas go by this year and you get over onto the January side of it and you go, wow, I don't even remember doing anything for Christmas this year.
Yeah, right.
You know, I've had that happen to me in my life before. Working so terribly busy that all of a sudden Christmas went by and it was January 2nd, and I was like, wow, what did I do this Christmas? You know, I mean, and it's not just, you can go through the form. Go to the, let me say it this way. You can do a Christmas parade. You can hit up a couple of cantatas at your church, or different churches. You can go see lights at different places, and still Christmas can get by you without experiencing Christmas.
That's because Christmas, like the heart of Christmas, we say is the baby in the manger, but it's not just the baby in the manger. It's us worshiping the baby in the manger, and to worship, you have to be proactive. That's not something that happens without you personally doing it. So if you don't take time to worship the baby in the manger, then Christmas will pass without you having experienced it.
Would it be legitimate for me to say you got to put your heart into it?
Yep.
That's what we're getting at here. So, not just doing all those things makes it Christmas. Putting your heart into that stuff, actually, I should say, into the baby in the manger. That's what makes it Christmas. Well, that's going to wrap up our show for today. We're so glad that you joined us. Make that difference in your life. Enjoy Christmas this year. Put Jesus at the center of it. And hey, come back next week. We'll be right back here at 2:00. We'll be on next Tuesday talking more about the things that make Christmas special and coming up with a few other topics. And hopefully we'll meet you out there online on Facebook or give us a call. Or if our computer isn't acting up, we'll see you at the 2-minute drill too. But wherever that we see you, God bless you and Merry Christmas.
This was brought to you by the HBC, the Hambone Broadcasting Corporation.